And we're back. The Customer Experience World Games 2022. We had an action-packed, event-filled session for you at this exact moment. This morning for me, this afternoon for some, and this evening for others. It's wonderful to be back with everybody. As you see right now, first and foremost, we're welcoming Christopher Brooks, our host, our founder. He's going to share some amazing information, and then we're going to welcome some really special, important guests, especially related to our upcoming challenge. So just sit tight. You're going to see some new faces. Join us in just a moment. Christopher, tell us where we're at. We want to do some celebrating, I believe, of the Challenge 1 winners, and you got some other information to share. I'm going to turn it over to you. Tell us what the latest and greatest is.
Thank you, Neil. So, yeah, on Friday we announced the runners-up for Challenge 1, the Refugee Challenge, were Santa's CX Hercules. So congratulations to the team. I've seen the noise on WhatsApp, so they're very proud of their success, and so they should be. They were pipped at the post, and I say pipped because it wasn't by a couple of furlongs. It was pipped at the post by the incredible difference makers, Mendisa's team. And again, I mean, they've been putting a shift in to make sure they got themselves in good shape and were worthy winners. I have to say the scoring between fourth and first, I went back and looked at previous years. It's been as close as it ever was. There's only been one time where it was slightly closer in all the games that we've played. So that recognises the calibre of the players and the quality of the entries. So congratulations to both those teams. I hope that will inspire them to go forward into developing better solutions for Challenge 2 and 3. We also have every round, we have the expert or the challengers, the challengers winner. That's Elena and David. They are still in a dark Zoom room, writing out who they believe the winners are. I think they're stuck because they're all so good. But we also had amongst our judges, we're very privileged to have Emily Huff, who is the editor-in-chief for Crisis Response magazine. So if there ever could be anyone who could hold the title of expert, it would be Emily. And Emily identified her winner, very close as well. Two teams kind of came out on top. One of them, based on the quality of the comments that she proposed, edged out in front. So the experts winner from Challenge 1 was CX Top Guns. Congratulations to them. They get a podium place for this challenge. And Emily said that their entry was just superb, a really, really strong entry. And nothing to take it away from the other entries because they're all pretty close. But in her opinion, holding her position of editor-in-chief, they just edged ahead. So congratulations to Sharon Boyd, the wonderful vice captains, and everyone who's been working so hard for their team. And Sharon shared, and why shouldn't she, on LinkedIn today, the website that they actually built. They actually built a website for this particular challenge and gone live with it. So already we're making a difference through the work that the players are doing. So truly fabulous.
Well, that's wonderful news. Congratulations to all the participants and to the winners. Yeah, a true tribute to the hard work that all of the teams are putting in. And the fact that each of the teams are so close, it's wonderful to hear. Everyone is putting maximum effort in, and the quality of the work is, as to be expected, just outstanding. And just like Veronica D'Angelo said, hi and congratulations, Veronica. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts. Anyone else out there that is watching, that's tuning in, please comment, please ask questions, please send your congratulations in. It's wonderful to receive those. And Soledad, who just joined it, hi everybody, Team Hercules rocks, elbow cough. Well done. Thank you, Soledad. We'll take that. And hi and congratulations again. Oh, there we go. And there's Mandisa. Mandisa, it's wonderful to hear your... Yeah, I love those. I'm not sure how to articulate that exact emoji, but we'll take it as a happiness, and it's wonderful to see your name, of course, in the spotlight again.
I saw Mandisa do that on LinkedIn, and I just did an impression of her just dancing around the office. So it's just a wonderful image, her dancing around the office, celebrating. So, but having seen, the work that they put in, I say work because we're volunteering, but these people have put in work. They put effort, time, commitment, blood, sweat, toils, and emotion, and they created some truly incredible pieces of work for our first challenge, which I'm sure David and Elena are going to craft into something that will become truly magical and help those who are trying to support refugees.
And wonderful, by the way, that the site is in fact launched. It's in the public domain now. It can be viewed. It's not just a CX World Games proprietary internal thing. It can now be viewed, correct, Christopher?
Absolutely, yeah. Every single one of the entries is available for all of the entrants. Anyone who's a player has access to it. And you know what better way, in our tiny humble way, to recognize World Refugee Day, because today is World Refugee Day. So there it is available. All of that insight, take it. It is free. Any entries that come into the games are free for players to look at, use in their own capacity, share with others to help them. Please do. But yeah, we should all take a moment just to recognize it's World Refugee Day.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Rodrigo, if I can ask you to bring Heidi in, we're going to bring in Heidi Stone, who is a ambassador and judge to the CX World Games 2022. Heidi, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us and for being available. I want to put you on the spot if I can. Two things. Just tell us a quick little bit of background about you, who you are, and tell us what you've observed as a judge and just overall participant and observer of this incredible content and work that has been produced so far.
Okay, lovely to meet you, Neil, because it is the first time we've met. So I'm a CX consultant and have been for about I've been in CX for about 25 years now, so an old hat about this. And got involved in the Customer Experience World Games right at the very beginning. I was a team captain to start with, and then last year moved to doing the judging and looking after the sort of ambassadors after the games, actually, when we sort of do that small piece of work to implement some of those changes.
Just to say, Heidi's underselling her part here. Heidi was part of the inspiration that arrived at the idea of the World Games. So her and I chatted initially, and it kind of built from there. And oh my God, let's create a World Games. Heidi also instigated and last year ran the CX Ambassadors. So when the games closes down and we go away, Heidi gets together a group of players who go forward and work with the charities to develop the solutions from ideas and implement them. So she's underplaying the significant role she plays as part of the World Games, a true inspiration, and keeps the flame of the games alight. So thank you, Heidi. Sorry, back to you.
Thank you. So all I want to do is reiterate actually everything that's been said so far about this last games. I was amazed actually at the quality of the proposals that came in. You could literally see that people had put their heart and soul into every aspect of it. And it was really, really tough in terms of being able to make that decision as to who, in terms of placement. And even to sort of be able to sort of critically evaluate and give some tips maybe in terms of growth. It was one of the most well thought out and thorough, I think, challenges that people have responded to, and it was, I'm just really excited now about the next few games to come and seeing what's going to come out of that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm going to ask you to stay put for just a moment. We're definitely not done with you. We want to hear some more things from you. We're going to continue on with just a little bit more about the program today, and we're going to come back to you in just a moment, Heidi. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, and I will come back to Christopher. We have a great bit of news to share about the release of challenge number 2. Christopher, would you like to introduce the challenge, or would you like me to? And by the way, for those of you that are in our audience, we're going to have the creator of challenge number 2. She's going to join us in just a moment as well.
Challenge number 3, Neil. We get you up too early. I know we get you up too early.
Challenge number 3. Yeah, it's morning over here. I haven't had too many coffees yet. Challenge number 3, forgive me. The new challenge, the upcoming challenge, which happens to be challenge number 3. But tell us about challenge number 3, Christopher, if you would.
Okay, so challenge number 3, we go from Hong Kong, and the entries for challenge number 2 are coming in today. They're being closed off. I can see some great work being done. People learning, not only, Neil, it's really interesting, not only learning about CX, but learning about things like production skills and creativity skills in terms of how they're pulling things together. So it's wonderful. People are learning from that, from each other. But challenge number 3 is coming to us. We come back to the UK for challenge number 3, but it's not a UK specific challenge. It's a worldwide challenge. And we've had the privilege to meet one of the most inspirational people in this space that I've come across. She just lives and breathes. She almost is a personification of the brand that she's created. And it is a brand, which is an odd word to say when you talk about a charity. But when we get to meet her and we get to understand the challenge, then you'll see what I mean. And when I say we get to understand the challenge, such is the commitment of Claire, who we'll meet in a moment, that the teams may not even get to do the challenge if they can't actually solve the first challenge. And that might not make sense to you, Neal, and to the viewers. But once they get to meet Claire, they'll realize what we mean. We're going to go and talk about helping children to access learning in a way that's most compatible for their needs, as opposed to perhaps the more conventional way of accessing it through traditional channels. Is something that Claire is very passionate about and has a very personal connection to. But like a previous challenger, Ashley Jones, who was personally connected to the situation, Claire's compassion is amazing, that she's now turned that into something that is helping hundreds, and I think in time, millions of people around the world. So our third challenge, it's just got a great name as well. The coolest name we've had. Third challenge is Spy Squad HQ. So should we bring her up, Heidi?
Yeah.
And Heidi's here because Heidi is the link between, look at that, Agency. Not even Claire, Agency. We even said, Claire, you're so mysterious. We didn't even know your surname. We had to go away and remember what your surname was. But I'll hand over to you, Heidi, to introduce Claire properly. And then, Claire, if you could give some background about you and Spy Squad HQ, and then we'll talk about the challenge.
Thank you, Christopher. So, I mean, Claire's going to take you into the world of Spy Squad in the only way that she can actually do that. I'm so proud to be a part of the team. I'm Agent H, so we've all got code names, which is really great. So when you're participating, actually, you're all welcome to create your own code names too. But Claire and I met a couple of years ago, right at the very beginning of the pandemic, and Claire had already started to set up another voluntary group for women that were really struggling with lockdown and other things. And so I met Claire through that. And again, just her heart and her spirit sort of shone through. And this was somebody that I knew that I would really get on with in the longer term. And then when we started to talk about Spy Squad, I was just so inspired by actually the effort and her journey to get there, and her commitment and tenacity to where she is. But obviously COVID and the lockdown and everything else had a dramatic impact on the progress of where she wanted to take Spy Squad. And that's really where I thought that this challenge is just the right audience, people with the right commitment and heart as well, to sort of input and sort of help contribute to making this really something special for children. So I'm going to hand over to Claire, because she's going to take you into the world of Spy Squad like nobody else can.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you so much. I'm overwhelmed with warm fuzzies. I don't really know what to say to all of those lovely comments. Thank you. Where would you like me to start? What do people already know? I don't want to sort of...
They know nothing, Claire. All they know is you're our third challenge. The window to see you is the first time they've seen it. The word Spy Squad is the first time possibly some of them have heard it. Certainly in the capacity of the games, we've not let them into anything. So it would be good to know a bit about your background, how Spy Squad came to be, and a little bit about what Spy Squad's doing in the world. And then we can take them into why they may not even get to do the challenge if they can't actually get through the first challenge.
Brilliant. Okay, yes. So in 2015, my son had been experiencing some really tough experiences at school, bullying, teachers, and he would literally scream terrified and refuse to go to school. So we withdrew him and decided to do some home ed with him for a few months, just to see if we could help him with his anxiety, figure out what was going on, and look to maybe change schools and put him into a different one. Because he'd had quite a lot of teasing around his writing, he's left-handed, and just struggled with grasping penmanship, and his art skills weren't great at the time. So they picked on him quite a bit and laughed at him. So he was very reluctant to do anything at home, because we knew we might have to put him back into school. It was important that we kept him up to date with what the mainstream curriculum was here in England. So I printed everything off, but Max just wasn't having any of it. So I needed to think of a sort of creative way to help him stay engaged and not fall behind his peers. So Max loved spies and the Spy Kids movies. So I decided to covertly hide what he needed to learn in spy missions, offered it on Facebook to other home edding families, and it just took off from there. And the feedback was amazing. From autistic children that really struggled with normal work, absolutely loving that they were now a spy with secret agent missions, telling people in the supermarket that they're a spy. It was just really well received. When Max chose to go back to school after about 9 months, I then had to decide whether I went back into counselling and psychotherapy, or if I took the idea further and turned it into a business, which is what I have done. So that was 6 years ago now. And each year has been a new product design. So we started with a monthly subscription service where we created training packs. So we teach children life skills like critical thinking, problem solving. So there's 6 training units that we've got at the moment that would be delivered monthly in a box with spy gadgets. We trialed that for 3 months, and our first customer was American, and her best friend was a TV producer in LA. So after 3 months of working on the subscription, we then had to pull the idea back, and we spent a whole year creating a 13-episode reality show based off the brand. And that was an amazing experience. We pitched it to Universal Studios. They weren't allowed to take spy-themed content for that particular year. We also went to Netflix, and it got through to stage 2, and then costings were out, and the producer is now currently on something else. So that's been parked at the moment, but it was an amazing opportunity. And to think that I was a mum sat on a really old laptop in a little boiler room at the back of my house, trying to get this thing off the ground, and I'm there talking with a producer in LA, was just amazing. Then I decided to create the birthday party, which is Operation Party Time. So we do schools, we do live events, and we work with clubs. So that was another sort of year to 18 months of writing the content, creating all the clues and the videos, buying all of the products. And we just transitioned to become a non-profit, because I believe that life skills like psychology and emotional intelligence and critical thinking and problem solving are essential. And sadly, they don't seem to be taught enough in our education over here. And that seemed to mirror feedback that we got from America and Canada as well. So I transitioned to become a non-profit. So we're a CIC now. And we were just starting to get launched. I was on a year-long program over here in England with the School for Social Entrepreneurs. And it was a Lloyds Bank-backed program with a grant. And then COVID hit. So all of the in-service products and services that we were providing, we obviously weren't able to do anything because of lockdowns. Now, the one thing about Spy Squad, that it was time off tech. It was meant to be traditional role play, good old-fashioned, out there, like I would have as a child. Everything is very heavily tech at the moment, so that was really important to us. However, realizing that there might be delays in getting products and ink, or supply chains might break down, I thought it was more important that we transition to offer a digital product and an online service so that children could still benefit from what we offer as a brand. So we've now been working for about 18 months to create the online game, which is called the Fossil Files. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, has been I would hope by now, delivered via an email. There is a pack with some coded messages for you to crack that will unlock a web page that gives you further mission instructions of what we as a brand need your assistance with. I think I'll leave it there for now. Any questions or anything I missed?
That was perfect. Thank you, Claire. No, it's wonderful. So I wanted you to put it in your own words first before I released anything to them. And they're going to get it instantly after this. So as Claire said, you will now get a mission. And that briefing document is actually your access to the challenge. So unless you can step into the world of Spy Squad, and you can recognize the importance of the great work that Claire is doing, helping children to access content through spy missions, you won't be able to take part in the challenge. The bar has been set relatively high, but I'm hoping with such excellent quality people on the teams, one of you will be able to solve the challenges, and then you'll be in. And when you get through, it's through a QR code, you'll then get into the challenge itself, and you'll be able to solve it. We felt this was really important. And actually, you know, hats off to Claire. It was Claire's idea that it actually gives you a tiny immersion into the world in which we're going into. And hopefully, because part of the challenge is to develop something that's very, very Spy Squad-like. It gives us that kind of starting point where you wear the cloak of Spy Squad and become, as Heidi said, one of Claire's agents for the duration of this challenge. It is a really important challenge. This is an area of society that we know is underrepresented. Ensuring that every child has access to education is what we say is kind of where we want to get it to. But if those children can't actually consume that education, then that's pretty pointless. So therefore, people like Claire step in to become the filter to make sure that ambition by every government is achievable. So, and we need your help in order to, well, I can't tell you what the challenge is, but we need your help to solve the challenge so that Claire can fulfill that ambition for her and not-for-profit as well. So I think that's covered it. We will take Q&As. We will give you access to some information. If you want to go and have a look at Spy Squad HQ, feel free to go and have a look and just get a little bit of appreciation of things like the fossil files, etc. When you get into the challenge, then you'll be off and running. It officially starts tomorrow, the challenge, so you've got a day to get through it. And I can see my phone's buzzing away now with all the groups, so they're obviously very keen to get the challenge now. Claire, thank you so much. Claire, will you do us the honour of providing an experts winners award as well when we've reviewed all the challenges?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'd love to do
Thank
that.
you.
Not a problem. And just to say, actually, that the coded messages are, you know, our audience are children ages 8+. So this is a typical example. What you're getting in the mission brief is a typical example of what we would send to the children. One thing I missed explaining is, so we teach life skills, critical thinking, problem solving, from the fun angle of being a spy in training. And we do this via storytelling. So our missions are interactive stories where the children are active investigators in the story themselves. So as they get an evidence pack and they solve the clues and crack the codes, it unlocks more of the story. So that's how we sort of facilitate the learning.
Excellent. What do you think, Neil? Hey, we've never had anything like this before, have we?
I'm in awe. I mean, the creativity behind this is just incredible. The opportunity, I think, for the teams to work on this each challenge is so unique and creative as it is. This just takes it to a whole different level. I personally am not playing in these games, but this is the type of challenge that would motivate me to really jump in and get involved. Hats off to Agency and the work that she's done, the challenge that she's put together.
And the solution is a CX solution we're looking for. It's just you'll have to find out what sort of CX solution it is when you get there. So any questions you have when you get through, feel free to drop back into the captains and vice captains into the WhatsApp group. And I'm sure Claire will very quickly come back and give you answers as well. So thank you, Claire. Really looking forward to seeing what the teams can do for you. And if it's anything like the other two challenges, I know they're going to be putting putting a shift and a half in to try and support you as best they can. And we got representation from 50 countries. It'd be great to kind of see the diverse views and opinions they have, because I'm sure every country has a similar situation that needs addressing as well.
Brilliant, thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what you'll come up with and see what your espionage skills are like, if you like getting into a character and being a secret agent like me.